I was very anxious to start this episode because it is about anxiety. So, question number 1.
Yeah.
What is anxiety and how is it different from mental stress, maybe?
Anxiety is something like when you worry about normal daily routine events, things which you should not be worrying about, like you have to go to the job, right?
Right.
So you're just very anxious about it. It's something normal, or you have to cook your food. So when you have that kind of problems, many people have that, worrying about, some events which
Right.
are not really that stressful.
Okay.
So that is how we describe anxiety. And it's like overreacting to some small thing. When nothing has happened and you just start panicking that the world will fall apart or something will happen.
All right.
So that's what is anxiety. And primarily it is caused by some chemical changes in the brain. There's some disturbance in the neurotransmitter. There are some chemicals in the brain which act as messengers.
Right.
So they cannot carry the signal properly. That's how they describe the anxiety disorder. Also, it can be due to some grief. Something happened in the family, somebody died. Especially, grief is one cause, or sadness due to some event. So you start worrying that maybe something will happen to me also. Or you watch some event, something happened, some bomb blast happened, something, some big tsunami happened or earthquake, and many people died. So you start relating to yourself. It's called weak mind, according to Ayurveda.
And weak mind doesn't have too much of self-control. So that is the mind that is going everywhere and is worrying about everything.
So Ayurvedically, we will say two things here. Of course, low sattva, the sattva, the strength of the mind is weak.
Yeah.
And more vata in the brain. When there is more vata in the brain becomes too active and it reacts to like small things. And it's not only related to brain. Then it brings some symptoms in the physical body also. You can have palpitation. You have like stiffness in the muscles. You feel sometimes sweating.
Or you start to hide things.
Yeah, sometimes
with no general reason.
Yeah, you start accumulating something, or you don't sleep properly.
Right.
You don't like to eat. You're not hungry. No appetite, and these kind of symptoms can be related with anxiety. And the most important thing is that you are very, very negative about even things which are not negative. So
apprehensive.
Apprehensive, and just imagining that this is going to happen to me. And then you start thinking about future and start thinking about dangerous situations, especially about disease and death. This is what people
and not in the way that it will build you up, but you think about death and you think about it in a very sad way.
Very sad way, negative way, and not necessarily. You will go for a checkup, for example, and suppose you start thinking that I'm having some heart problem, or I'm having some problem in my liver, and you go for the test and there's nothing wrong with you. Everything is normal. This is also happens with people that they start complaining that I have this problem, I feel like this, and when they do the tests, everything is normal. So this very strongly indicates that it's definitely anxiety which is causing to.
And then anxiety is telling you, oh my God, if they cannot know what is wrong with me, there's something really wrong with me.
Of course, that's definitely. Then they will say this doctor doesn't understand my problem, and then they start looking for some some other kind of solutions for that.
Right. So as we know, the cause, like the real cause of anxiety would be the weak mind.
Weak mind, low sattva, we call it in Ayurveda, and too much vata in the brain, which can definitely create this, what I said, the disturbance in the neurotransmissions or the chemical changes in the brain. So that's so that's why in Ayurveda, when we talk about anxiety, it's an anxiety can be very nicely treated in Ayurveda. There's a lot of people who have anxiety. I'll advise you, just try to understand a little bit about Ayurvedic principles. Ayurveda says first, too much vata in the brain. So too much movement, too much dryness, you can say. So what? Lubrication. Head massage, very nice.
Yeah, that's quite
every day.
Logical.
Head massage, very nice. Put some almond oil in the nose and massage your feet with almond oil. It's also very nice. Then, of course, in the food, you should eat always something warm and more soupy, more liquid form, not cold, not dry, not crunchy, crispy. These things will make you more anxious.
Right.
And especially avoid stimulating things, because these things will create more weakness in the brain, or more disturbance in the brain. So that's why many people, when they are anxious, they will start drinking, or they will smoke, or they will.
And this is just a temporary relief.
This is temporary because it's a temporary stimulation, but ultimately it makes your mind more weak. It makes your brain more weak
and more prone to anxiety.
And more prone to anxiety, because weak mind is more anxious mind. So therefore, in Ayurveda we suggest techniques like breathing. Breathing is very nice, very effective. And whenever you are anxious, just try this next time. Whenever you are anxious, just sit down, back straight, try to breathe deep. Just 2 minutes of deep breathing will immediately calm you down, because it's a direct link of brain and oxygen. More oxygen in the brain. In Ayurveda we call it prana vata. More prana, more oxygen in the brain. The various functions, various neurotransmissions, messengers, they receive oxygen and they start functioning better, and mind becomes calm and you feel better. Of course, there are all very nice Ayurvedic herbs if you take internally, or a very simple formula. You can make it at home. Everybody can make. Take some almonds, soak them in water, like 7 almonds, soak them in water in the night. Next morning, remove the skin of the almonds, make a paste, and boil it in a cup of milk. Put some cinnamon powder, maybe a little bit of black pepper powder if you want.
Okay.
And if you have rose petals or rose petal powder, just half teaspoon, mix it. Need to make it sweet, maybe add a teaspoon of honey.
Right.
And just drink it. Very nice, very effective. Even drinking a cup of hot milk in the night with some cinnamon relieves.
And also those who suffer from anxiety, they are less active socially.
Yeah. So they should go out, definitely. And exercise is very good, exercising, going for a walk, especially in the nature.
And concentrate on something. There is a tree, and walk towards the tree.
Go in the forest where it is more calm and quiet. Go on the beach, relax. And again, very, very important, according to Ayurveda, is some type of meditation. Because meditation also strengthens your mind and changes your chemicals in the brain.
Again, go a bit calmer. Go sattvic down, especially when you're anxious. And I like the idea of if this is happening in your head, put something, and it's about the movement and dryness, then put some moisture like oil and rub it in your head. Yeah, cool. Thank you very much.